Shouldn't have done that. Why is Clement not? Ah! Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
What makes the perfect horror game? A game that can make your heart race with every creak, every distant sound. A game that traps you in the dark, with nothing but your wits and scarce supplies to survive. A game that doesn't just scare you with jump scares, but gnaws at your mind, leaving you in constant fear of what's coming around the next corner. Welcome to Amnesia, the Bunker, a game that rewrites the rules of survival horror by combining relentless tension, psychological dread, and complete player immersion. In a genre packed with atmospheric thrillers, Amnesia: The Bunker stands out as a near-perfect experience, blending non-linear exploration, dynamic monster encounters, and a story that grips you in silence. But what makes it so special? Let's dive in and uncover what makes The Bunker one of the finest horror games ever created. The atmosphere. The first thing you notice about Amnesia: The Bunker is the oppressive atmosphere. From the moment you step inside, it's clear this isn't just a setting, it's a character in its own right. This bomb shelter isn't just a backdrop for horror, it is the horror. Every room, every hallway feels alive. The claustrophobic space squeezes you tighter and tighter as you explore. The walls feel like they're closing in, like the whole structure could collapse at any moment. Then there's the sound. The echoes of metal creaking in the distance, the soft rumble of something moving behind you, and the footsteps of it, the monster that you never really get to see until the very end. You're never alone, not really. And the darkness, it's not just a lack of light, it's a force, always encroaching on your vision, daring you to step into it. The dim lighting and flickering bulbs keep you on edge, constantly questioning whether something's lurking just out of sight. This lighting isn't just for aesthetics, it's a tool used masterfully to manipulate your anxiety. There are moments of calm, yes, but even those feel fragile, like the safety could be shattered at any second. And then there's the fear of losing light entirely. Your lantern, your torch, your winding loud flashlight is one of the few tools keeping the darkness at bay, but fuel is scarce, and every time you wind your flashlight, it creates a lot of noise. Every second it's on is a reminder that soon you may have to plunge into total darkness, where something might be waiting. In Amnesia: The Bunker, it's not just the monsters that create fear, it's the environment. It's the creaks in the ceiling, the darkness swallowing you whole, and the constant tension that makes every step forward feel like a life or death decision. The bunker isn't just a place, it's your greatest enemy. It wouldn't be a survival horror game without a terrifying monster. But in Amnesia: The Bunker, the creature you face isn't just any monster. It's a relentless, intelligent predator that adapts to your every move. This isn't your typical horror game enemy. It's not scripted, it doesn't follow set paths, and you can't predict where and when it will appear. It hunts you, learning from your actions, waiting for you to make a mistake and make some noise that you didn't intend to. And that is where the genius of The Bunker lies, the unpredictability. You're never safe, Even when you think you found a moment of respite to catch your breath or craft supplies, the creature could be lurking nearby in one of those holes you see in front of you on the screen right now, ready to strike. The AI isn't just there to chase you, it actively responds to how you play. If you make noise, it will come for you. If you hide for too long, it'll search every corner. The monster isn't just another obstacle, it's the embodiment of fear. It's always one step behind, waiting for you to slip up. The sense of unpredictability is what makes each encounter with the monster terrifying. Unlike games with scripted events, Amnesia the Bunker keeps you guessing. It's not about memorizing patterns, it's about staying on edge, ready for anything, unlike Resident Evil 3 Remake. There's no traditional safe space either. Even the places that you think are secure, like the one I'm in the video right now, are always dangerous. If you make enough noise in this safe room on screen that I'm not even in anymore for some reason, it will come through a hole and kill you even in the safe room. The bunker's narrow hallways and tight rooms leave you with few options. Do you run? Do you hide? Or do you risk trying to outsmart the creature? Or do you risk shooting it? Or throwing a grenade and risking wasting ammunition and scarce resources? Every time the monster appears, the stakes feel real. You know it's not following a script, and that makes it all the more terrifying. You're forced to adapt on the fly, making split-second decisions that could mean life or death. In Amnesia the Bunker, it's not just about avoiding the monster, it's about surviving an enemy that thinks, that stalks, and that will never stop hunting you, right until the very end. And that's what makes every moment in the bunker a heart-pounding nightmare. In a game like this, survival isn't just about hiding from monsters, it's about managing your dwindling resources and making every choice count. From the moment you step into the bunker, the game makes one thing clear: you are not prepared. Supplies are limited. Every bullet, every drop of fuel, every bandage could mean the difference between life and death. Unlike many horror games where resources are abundant, the bunker forces you to constantly think about how much you can afford to use and what you need to save. Do you need that last bullet to fend off a threat, or do you hold onto it for something worse? Do you risk running out of fuel to save your game, or push forward into the darkness without a safety net? These resources that I've been talking about include, but are not limited to, glass bottles, which can make noise or be crafted with the following. I was gonna say either, but you kinda need both: a rag and gasoline. Rags are used to be combined with another rag, I think, for healing items, to make a healing item, to make bandages, or you can put them with a bottle to make a bottle and a rag. And if you do that, once you have the lighter, you can put some gasoline in there and you can have a Molotov cocktail. But you can also choose to have your gasoline be your fuel reserves, so you can have the whole place lit up. Yes, there are lights, but you need to have enough gasoline in order to keep those lights running. And gasoline, especially in harder difficulties, is a lot harder to come by. You also need to have pistol bullets. You need to have flares. Yes, flares. Sorry, I almost said flashbangs, but those don't exist in World War I. You can also have smoke grenades. All of these and traps laid out from the people who were here before you. That was a rag on the bed that you just saw in the clip right now. In a world where survival depends on what you can scavenge, every step forward feels like a gamble, and the deeper you go, the more you realize there might not be enough to get you out. Amnesia, the bunker, isn't just about the terror of being hunted by a monster or the scarcity of resources. Beneath the surface, there's a story, one of fear, isolation, and the unraveling of the human mind. The story isn't delivered to you in traditional cutscenes or dialogues. Instead, it's woven into the very environment you explore. The bunker holds secrets, abandoned rooms, cryptic journal entries, and blood-stained walls that all tell their own stories. It's up to you to piece together the events that led to this nightmare. What is this story, you may ask? And to be honest, I think you should watch other videos if you want to get to the true accurate story, but I've played the whole game, I've read all the notes, and let me tell you, if you don't want to go to other videos and you want to watch this amazing one, this is the story. So, in the intro sequence that I skipped because I didn't really want to play it again for the third time, you are running through the battlefield of World War I, fighting against the Germans. And in this fight, things happen, shots go everywhere, your friend saves you, and then you save your friend, because at the end, he is wounded. You patch him up, you give him some water from a nearby water source, a mysterious water source at that, and you use all your adrenaline to carry him over your back and bring him back to base. But by then, you are completely exhausted and you are suffering from your wounds. You fall into a sort of a coma in the bunker, and in the notes you find out what happens while you are sleeping. Now, when you do wake up, I'll talk about what happens before later. When you do wake up, this is the aftermath of everything that happens in the notes. Otherwise, everyone else is basically dead. Almost everyone else. In the notes, your friend starts having visions, starts having voices in their head, starts becoming a whole different beast. There's a whole separate mind inside his head, and each day it's growing worse and worse. And hint hint, it's from the water you gave him. It's a magical water source, I have to tell you. Eventually, these voices in his head start telling him to kill. And his first victim, I think Rambert, I don't remember. It's been a while. It's been 2 years, but let me see if I remember. Rambert is the first victim. He goes missing, basically. No one knows what happens. Not even Lambert, because he is like under like a sleep dream-like state whenever this is happening. It's like he's being taken over. And over the course of the war, he starts mutating. He goes missing, even though we know he doesn't, and he starts burrowing everywhere. He goes in the bunker and he's making people go missing left and right. It starts with Rambert, with the R, but then it expands to other people, and eventually the entire base. The generals, who are kind of bad people, tell the soldiers to go lay traps around the place. And that's why you see so many traps, like the tripwire I showed you earlier in the door and on the floor. These traps were meant for the beast, and this beast, which is the monster's name, I guess, it can't get hurt by these things. You can shoot it, it will survive. It will heal up, it will come back. You can't really kill this thing, they don't know that. And the generals keep sending soldiers and soldiers until there's like basically no one left. And when they know it's a lost cause, they go out, leaving you behind, and they blow up the exit and escape, fleeing for their lives. Now, there are people left behind this bunker, like the one you have to kill in the start, but you don't really get to because the monster kills him first. A guy in a pillbox, which is like a place where you snipe. That guy gets shot by the Germans, and you can too, actually. It's very scary. And Toussaint, who goes literally crazy after discovering this entire underground structure that drives him and anyone else who's in there for a long time insane. Toussaint is an interesting character because he's literally the only person that you actually get to interact with in the entire game. He blinds himself and he is in this mist at the end of the game. I don't have footage for it because I didn't play the entire game for this footage. So you're not gonna get it until, actually, I'll put it right now. So you'll be seeing this. It's gonna be from YouTube. It's gonna be from some guy. I haven't recorded it yet, so I don't know who it's gonna be from. You're just gonna see it. Toussaint blinds himself from going crazy. He kills anyone that goes near him, and eventually that becomes you. You have to go in there. You have to retrieve an item, and this is probably the most crucial item for your escape. I think it's the bomb or it's the lever. I don't remember which. I think it's the lever, because in the arsenal, that's where the bomb is. Not arsenal, but like the weapon storage. So you have to kill him, you grab his shotgun, and then you also find this bunny toy. It's in a secret area around the area, and it's the only open space that's open to the free world, like ever, until the ending and the beginning. It's kind of beautiful until you realize you're in World War I, and it isn't really that beautiful. This bunny is also the only thing that Lambert remembers, so if you throw it, he will take it to his little dungeon and stop for a second, remembering who he once was. About this Roman structure, I don't really know what it's about, to be honest. I don't remember much of the notes. All I know, it's some mysterious magic stuff, like Amnesia and the Dark Descent kind of crap. But you have to play the game for yourself to find out. And the ending, well, you have to find out that for yourself. I'm not going to lay it out for you. I want you to play this game. It's that good. It's basically perfect. Just trust me on that one. Amnesia the Bunker excels at psychological horror, not by overwhelming you with gore or shocks, but by slowly, methodically unraveling the player's mental state. The story lingers in the background, seeping into your experience, until the bunker itself feels like a prison, not just for your body, but for your mind. And as you uncover the truth of what happened here, the deeper fear sets in, the realization that, much like those before you, there may be no escape. All in all, Amnesia the Bunker isn't just another horror game, it's a masterclass in tension, atmosphere, and survival. From its terrifyingly unpredictable monster encounters to the way it forces you to make life or death decisions with scarce resources, every element is designed to keep you on edge. It's a game that doesn't rely on cheap tricks or over-the-top scares. Instead, it uses the palpable silence, the glooming shadows, and the subtle storytelling to burrow into your mind. The bunker becomes more than just a setting, it becomes a nightmare, constantly pushing you to your limits. Through its fragmented story, it draws you deeper into a psychological horror that lingers long after you've put down the controller or keypad. You're not just surviving, you're questioning, you're doubting, and ultimately confronting the dread of isolation and fear. Amnesia the Bunker perfects the horror formula by blending player-driven exploration, real-time resource management, dynamic AI, and an atmosphere so thick, it's suffocating. It doesn't just scare you, it consumes you. After all, in a place like this, survival is only the beginning. And hey, if you like this video, feel free to subscribe, as I'm a new channel that's growing every single day, and I'll make more content just like this. Anyways, I'll see you out there, and remember, stay safe.